Hey guys, it's me again. I am in a town called Placid Lake, Florida. Not to be confused with Lake Placid, which is literally right next to us, and also in New York. You can see the Christmas lights are up. I'm walking around downtown. It's just before 7 in the evening on a Friday, and it is not, I haven't passed a single person on foot. I pulled into town really to stop at this place that you can actually see right there on the corner with the red star in front of it. It's called Logan's. For obvious reasons, I wanted to get kitty cat. I wanted to get a hat from there. That did not come to fruition as they were closed. Google has kind of been suggesting that places are open when they are not. It's been saying that things are temporarily closed when they're open. I'm a little bit miffed, to be honest. Like it said this place was open till 8. It was closed at 6:15. So I don't know if the hours just need to be updated or if they're short-staffed. Could be any number of things. Really, it's not a reason to complain, I guess, but still kind of bizarre. Anyway, I'm about 25 minutes from where I'm spending the night in Sebring, which I explored at length today. I went downtown, sadly discovered that the Moroccan place I really wanted to go to, which was part of one of the main reasons I stayed in Sebring, actually even came down to southern Florida, was shuttered. But not shuttered, it was mysteriously closed. Some of the lettering had been taken off. It still said hours, but some of the letters in the word hours, for example, were missing, which I found to be quite bizarre. I've noticed people here have a great proclivity for not using apostrophes correctly. I noticed it in Sebring, and I noticed it on the sign for that building, or maybe it was the home care place, where they put nurses, but they put an apostrophe S instead of just getting rid of the apostrophe, making it what it was correctly. And earlier I was at a fruit stand outside of the mall in Sebring, and there was a sign that said, "If you're not happy, tell us." And someone had corrected because it said "if you're," and the "you're" was a possessive "you're" rather than a "you are" contraction, as it should be. Oh. So it was a little bit bizarre. But, so I got to explore the downtown area. It was a little bit chilly. I got pancakes. It was quite lonely. And at a place that is allegedly having an open mic for local rappers and producers tonight, starting at 8 p.m. I thought about it. I was like, okay, maybe I should just go. What the hell? Why not? But the more I thought about it, I was already depressed enough, sitting there alone, eating my meal by myself. Why would I go and stand in front of people who are interested in things I'm not interested in by myself? If I had been with someone else, I'd be willing to do it. But I am not with anyone else. I'm completely alone. And that's not really an ideal circumstance to enjoy those kinds of venues and those kinds of events. And the guy was welcoming enough. One of the guys working there was welcoming enough. The other one was kind of didn't really seem to know what was going on. Okay, you can't see that at all, can you? Nope. The Christmas lights here are really pretty. So I walked along the lake. People here are really not as friendly as I was kind of hoping. Some of them were, but I mean, like, even just not making eye contact, kind of bizarre. And I guess I have been that person in the past who was anxious about making eye contact, but whatever. It's not the end of the world, I guess. I walked around the lake and I went to not an antique mall, it was a downtown mall. And it was really a flea market, but it was like a flea market that didn't get pulled up. Christmas all year long, that's cool. It was in a 2-story office building, and it was one of the strangest places I've been in. First of all, the scent of the place was very unnerving, which it doesn't happen often that the scents of places are unnerving to me. This is a cool place. But this place, it was like you step back in time to the 70s or 80s, and it was kind of like a thrift store IKEA, in that each room was a different kind of setup with furniture. They kind of piled everything together. I guess that's the way antique stores kind of are. But it was quite bizarre. I took a lot of pictures because it was very memorable. Some of the rooms I walked into, I felt uncomfortable. And some of the rooms I walked into, and I was just in awe at what I was seeing. The doll one was really, there was one filled with dolls. That was pretty creepy. I took a picture of it nonetheless. And then afterwards I went off-roading actually. I went to I'm very enticed by these places in Florida where the roads are there, but the neighborhoods are completely empty. As I was driving it wasn't like the places in Ocala where it was just boom and bust and it never developed. Like this place, I think, is legitimately used for off-roading vehicles, because I saw some and actually was in the way of one at one point. But it was a very peculiar little forest, because it looked like something out of a dinosaur movie, first of all. But then there were, obviously people use the place to dump stuff, which is kind of disheartening. But the stuff they dumped was very bizarre. Like I realized now that it was probably just target practice for like airsoft guns or something. But it was like all these little Christmas themed stuffed animals and Halloween themed stuffed animals, and they were tied around trees, almost like they were hanging, like they were being hung. And I was kind of disturbed, honestly. I saw one, I was like, okay, someone come out here and just did that. I can't imagine why you'd use a cute stuffed animal as a target practice, but they were doing it anyway. And then I kept seeing it, and then eventually I began to saw things that didn't look like target practice. They actually looked like shrines, like stuffed animals arranged in weird ways, ornaments arranged in weird ways. There's like a life-size stuffed dog that was so realistic that it actually scared the crap out of me when I first saw it. So I was pretty spooked. But yeah, that was cool. I went to, I went to the Lakeshore Mall. I believe that's what it's called. Whatever the mall is in Sebring. It had that trifecta of 90s colors, like the turquoise, the rose pink, and the other thing. I can't remember. But it was very, very atmospheric. Because considering it was so busy, everywhere I went in Sebring, we were like surrounded by vehicles. But in this place, it was just frighteningly quiet. The Sears had shuttered. The J.C. Penney had shuttered, which actually I had been tipped into that by the night auditor last night. But it was still such a bizarre experience. Like, I had all these very strange encounters today. And then eventually I went up to Sebring Regional Airport, which I saw literally 2 people in the entire airport. One was on the phone for the entire time I was in there, and another was just a guy at a table doing some work on his laptop. So yeah, and now I'm going to pick up my pupusas.